Hello, Booktube. It's not you, it's me, but we gotta talk. I am not leaving Booktube forever, but I am leaving for a little bit. I don't know the dates. I don't know if I will be able to make 3 more videos or if I will, or if this will be my last video. I have no idea. I just have a bunch of things on the real tangible world in which that require me basically. On top of that, I've been wanting for a while to spend some long prolonged period of time without my phone. I tried spending quite a while without the internet this winter. I spent a month in a place where there was no internet at all, in the forest, just basically in a mountain hut or cabin or however you wanna call it, and that was interesting, but it wasn't what I was looking for. I still managed to make videos. I still managed to message my family. I was hoping to be in a place where the phone, my device, this device that's become an extension of our minds and bodies, would basically be rendered obsolete. I would just not be going to it or anything like that. But even there, I was still using the Notes app and all the wonderful things that these devices have, and the reason why they have been spread all over the world. Wherever you go, you can have a phone, right? I want to experience living without it for a while. I lived without it for a while before coming to the UK 3 years ago. I lived working as an outdoor instructor, mainly as a scuba diving instructor, but I was instructor of many other things as well. And that was wonderful. I liked it, and I never needed to look at the phone. But in some ways, I have been unhappy in this country, especially in my first year here. I've been increasingly better as time has gone on. You met me on the end of a very dark era of my life, and I because of that, I feel like I began to have a relatively unhealthy relationship with this device. Nothing like what you would see pointing at anyone on the street on average. Nothing like the average human nowadays, especially in a city like London. I'm sure on the countryside or in other kind of places is different. Nothing like that. I'm talking about maybe like 1 hour, 2 hours of use a day. I know people whose 7 hours is like they don't even question it, and most of that time is actually productive. I do enjoy watching lectures in YouTube. As I said, this is a wonderful device, but it's constantly improving itself in its art of like taking my attention, taking my capacity to focus on things that matter a lot more for me. And I'm not saying that you don't matter. You would probably matter a lot more if we had a face-to-face conversation, if we actually met. But right now, I'm talking at a screen and I'm getting comments, and some of those comments are wonderful, others are not. Some of you have my email. I always give my email to whoever asks. I always forget also to write my email on the description. So if anyone has anything to tell me, you can always ask for it for my contact. I will always give it. But in terms of me making videos, it implies me having an app, me having a phone that eventually is gonna. I have the WhatsApp app, and I've had Instagram for many years, because for a long time Instagram was the only means of contacting me, because I did not use email, because I thought email could only be used in computers, because that's how silly I am, and also I always change numbers, so my WhatsApp was also not reliable. And by now it's become like kind of like a photo album of my progress as a human being. I think the first picture of my Instagram is from when I was 16, and I didn't delete any pictures until now. You can see, my ex-girlfriends, places where I've lived, the jobs I've had. I've always posted pictures there twice a year or something like that. So the app was not addictive, but nowadays, if I have a few days, I have a lot of free time at the moment, because I just finished working double shifts and all that shit, and I don't want to find myself downloading the Instagram app without even realizing, and subconsciously spend 2 hours watching stories or anything like that. It's not something that happens to me a lot. I tend to catch myself up relatively quickly, but it always takes me a day or two to realize. And that day or two could have been spent doing something else. And even if I'm not doing any of that, I'm actively, because we've all become addicts of something, Most people are addicts of sugar. I am not. I can live without sugar. I love sugar. I love chocolate things especially. But I am well aware that most people are addicted to coffee and to sugar and to other kinds of drugs. In terms of drugs that have a more physiological impact in our bodies, I am completely in control of them. I tried a lot of them. I had my my moment with some of them, but it's not something that in any way affects my daily life. However, this device, because of how convenient it is and how handy it is, there's no other drug that you can have on your pocket all the time, requires a different kind of approach. It requires distancing on a different level, and I don't. Yeah, it's basically just I'm no longer willing to make this concession of having this phone that I've been wanting to get rid of for half a year now, just because I have a booktube channel that I enjoy a lot making videos on, and people that I enjoy a lot talking to, which I do. I am, I love this thing. I love it in many ways. It's also good for me. It also helps me remember books and think about new books, and we all know why we are here. So I'm definitely not leaving booktube, but I'm gonna have to focus on other things, and being in constant withdrawal with still having the device on my pocket, because I still have to bring it with me, because it's the device I'm choosing to rely on a daily basis. While I'm doing these other things, which I'm going to talk about in a second, basically means that I will not be doing these things as like to my 100%. I had a hand tied on my back, just like, English is not my first language. Anytime I'm speaking in English, I am to a degree struggling more than a person who grew up in this country, right? If I choose to write a book in English, which is what I'm doing, my first novel is going to be published in English language, just because there is more opportunity for a writer on this market than in the Spanish market. But the things I can do with the Spanish language are beyond what I can even dream of doing in English. In English, I have to focus a lot more in plot and things like that, because my language has its limitations. It's similarly, when I am doing something, if I am at the same time actively not doing something else, I'm not doing that thing as well, including writing, including everything that has nothing to do with a phone. So I'm not giving up YouTube. I'm not giving up, just to make sure that we are on the same page, I'm not giving up in the internet either. I'm just giving up this device. I'm gonna get one of those old phones that have buttons and that don't have an app store that you can just call, and that's it, because I do still need to contact people. But I'm doing that because a lot has been required of me in the past few months, both for me, investments that I have made on myself and on other people. I've been helping other people out with things to do with bureaucracy, with things to do with getting residency on Europe, etc., etc. And I was kind of like, I can't do a lot of things before burning out, because I am a person who, when I was 15 years old, I was working 16-hour shifts with no days off for 600 euros a month. So I have a lot of tolerance, but I have been close to be feeling overwhelmed lately. And I don't want to continue to feel that way, because I don't want to age. I don't want to age 10 years in 2 years because I'm handling too many things or anything like that. I finished university. I finished the things that I had committed myself to do. I've achieved commitments that I had for others as well. Now I just want to have a few months of focusing only on my own personal pursuits. And I want to be able to do these things on 100% without having to worry about spending too much time on Instagram the day that I want to finish my novel, or I don't know, looking at YouTube videos that I don't even care about, because YouTube is not just booktube, and when you have YouTube you get other videos as well, and now with the fucking shorts in YouTube is even harder, and I don't want to be doing that when I can be doing something else, basically. And that something else in this case is I'm moving to Spain with my partner. I am bringing all my books there, and I have to find shelter for them and everything. I am finishing to co-write, working on the thing that we are co-writing together about nature and humanity and anthropocentrism, etc., etc., etc. And I am also finishing my own novel and the dissertation for university and some other essays. and I also want to read. And that doesn't matter what anyone says. I might enjoy more knowing that I have people to talk to when it comes to BookTube, but BookTube does not make me read more, it makes me read less. You just have to look at the numbers of my first year in BookTube, 2022, I think. I think my first video for BookTube was my readings of 2022, and I mentioned on that video I read around 150, something like that, books on 2022. 2023, I was a lot more active on BookTube. It was the moment I started even considering myself a booktuber, and I read about, I don't know, 70 books, something like that. And this year, I'm doing so many other things that if I am also doing BookTube, I'm going to be reading one book every month. So the level of frequency with which I have been making videos is going to have to change either way, even whenever I come back. But also the device itself, that also takes so much time from me, that has nothing to do with this activity, also is going to have to change. And that means that I'm probably going to have to grapple with either I'm going to be away from BookTube for like 6 months until after summer, basically, so that I can focus while I'm that's the other thing. I'm going to be working in Croatia as both a boat captain and a diving instructor, and I'm going to be there with other people. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm not going to have time I'm already going to be working full time, and on my free time I'm not going to want to be making videos. I'm going to want to be reading, at least if I have to compare those two things, and one thing gets on the way of the other, I have to choose. And I'm also buying I don't know if this might I just bought some land, and I have to go, I literally signed in the contract in a few days, and that land has a house in a state of ruin that I'm gonna restore by myself and with a few friends, and I have to pay for that, and I have to make money for those materials. Then I'm gonna have to be, working on the logistics of that. I can drive many things, but I don't have a driving license. I'm gonna need to take a driving license in order to be able to drive materials to the place and rebuild that, and all of that is gonna happen in the next 6 months. So yeah, there is only so much of me, and as polyamorous as I am, everyone can handle a certain number of relationships, but sometimes there is a number that is too much, and at the moment I am on the verge of too much. So before it becomes too much and I start making videos and I look like I don't want to be making them or anything like that, or I burn out, I much rather just say the healthiest thing that I've always done in my many relationships that I've had, especially my many polyamorous relationships that I've had, which is we need some time. It doesn't matter how much you love someone, every now and then you don't want to see them. And in this case, this is what I'm having to do. If you can't wait, if you think that if you don't want to be subscribed to my channel because I might not be active for the next 3 months or something like that, feel free to unsubscribe. You'll be missing out on the next YouTube emperor someday, when I come back with my epic return, maybe even on recording videos on a camera. Who knows, man, if I manage to become a hacker, because ideally I'd like to do that. I'd like to buy a second-hand camera and learn to emancipate the videos from this device, so that I can have a very primitive device and yet be able to make videos for BookTube with not too much effort. I don't want to become Jaren Herdenson or start making like the perfect crafted BookTube video, because it's not about that. I enjoy this as a kind of like it is a reading blog, even a live blog a little bit. I would love to take you when I go across the Sahara again with me and talk about that as well. So like a travel reading blog, that would be great. I'm not gonna spend hours editing videos, but I was definitely also considering perhaps improving a little bit. Since I'm changing devices, why not also change the approach? I'll fleet with all of these ideas in the next few months. I don't know where I am at. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing exactly. I barely even know what I'm gonna be reading, except for that pile of science fiction there I'll be talking to you about very soon. But that's it. I didn't leave. If you are watching this video afterwards and there is no other videos on my channel, I didn't leave. I am taking a break, and I'm coming back because I love this and I love you, and I'm thankful for every one of you that talks to me and leaves comments and all of that. So that's a little bit of me. I hope you understand, and let me know what you think. Thoughts, critiques, whatever. I am going now. yeah, I am going now. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much. We'll see each other at some point on the other side, or not. Who knows? In any case, take care and keep making videos, because I will keep watching them on a different pace. Not while I'm on the train or things like that, but on a device that is less intrusive. That's the word. Thank you.